After rewatching some playthroughs of Security Breach, I noticed something interesting about the game, in particular one of the many endings, and how this ending could connect back to a recent series. During the Afton ending, we see Gregory and Glamrock Freddy defeating the newly resurrected Afton within the bowels of the Pizzaplex, burning the entirety of the ruins below, and presumably the Pizzaplex above it, with Afton being taken away by the vengeful Blob. In Fazbear's Fright, we see a badly burned and barely alive William Afton being kept in a state of undying agony by Andrew, one of his many victims. He had come from a fire site, which is known for its connecting the founders of Fazbear Entertainment, which is obviously the Pizzeria Simulator fire. After his physical body was destroyed, he went on to possess the Stitch Ray alongside Andrew and Jake, before absorbing on the agony-affected objects, creating the agony. It is also interesting to note that in another story in the series, we see Glitchtrap terrorizing a game studio, which is extremely similar to what we see in Help Wanted with Super Parasol Games. With everything in mind, my theory is that perhaps instead of the Firestyle mentioned in Fazbear's Fright being directly after the events of Pizzeria Simulator, it could instead be after the burning of the Pizzaplex, with the remains of Henry's restaurant being what remains behind after the massive complex burned down. Police would later investigate and learn the existence of the restaurant, and would eventually find what remained of Afton within the rubble, and was completely charred beyond recognition, and of his burned-trapped body around him. He would then be placed inside Hercules Hospital, becoming the mysterious man in room 1280. It could also be possible that Afton learned about agony and got infected with the emotion from the Blob and his encounter with him, using it as a basis for what he could do, and eventually doing the same when absorbing Andrew's agony-affected objects, resulting in him becoming the agony. It can also explain the mysterious circus baby that appears in Fury's Rage, as this could be Eleanor, who could have been created by Vanny under Afton's orders, or her being made to test out the effects of agony in a subject. However, after the ending of Security Breach, Eleanor is left abandoned at a junkyard, and eventually kickstart most of the events in Fazbear's Fright. Lastly, this will explain Glitchtrap's presence in Fazbear's Fright series, as despite Afton's physical demise due to the agony's defeat at the hands of Larson and the puppet, Afton's virus will still be around, with Glitchtrap being Afton's one connection to the living world. It would also mean that Vanny could still be running around amok, remaining under Glitchtrap and leveling control and doing his bidding.